how we do around here when we do these programs. It's awesome. We got a great group of people that check in, and it's just a great viewership, right? So it's really good to have you.
Speaking of that, and we're live. Welcome to Soaring Profits Thursday Night Live, 6 p.m. What? Well, we got a shout out from HIDSIPS, this great company that really wanted to be on our show. One of a few that we've had recently come up to us and say, hey, want to be on your show, like what you're doing, kind of want to talk about what we do, who we are, and where we're from. But before we get into that, coming up next week, July 27th, the amazing Sia, the amazing Raquel, and the amazing CJ, as among others, I don't remember the whole list, are going to eat this fabulous hot sauce live. You can't see the top. It's like a ghost bottle from Purple Tongue Hot Sauce. This is the 8. This is the one that we're expecting to make Pat cry. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be awesome. Pat, I'm going to cry a little bit. I have been training Pat. You're going to see that video next week. We've been working hard on learning how to take hot sauce, push-ups, sit-ups, that kind of thing. Teaching him how to run a little bit. It's going to be fun. Come join us. We're going to eat some hot sauce. We're going to play some games. It's just going to be a hilarious hoot. It's going to be a little off what we normally do, but it's going to be a lot of fun. Welcome, Austin and Daniel, two wonderful young entrepreneurs changing the world for the better. They're going to get into, in a bit, they're going to get into what their lamp does. Pat, what do you got for us?
Well, again, like you were saying, James, is that the hot sauce stuff, everyone that's followed this for the last little while, I'm like, mayonnaise is spicy to me. I am like this true Canadian kid that is not into this stuff. And these cult members, these hounds of business that are right there have somehow lured me into this. And I'm telling you right now, James has been working my ass off, struggling to get me into this, but I can't think of a better segue to go from me sweating my ass off on the 27th than having a cold, crisp, refreshing glass of water beside my bed every night. Cue the gentlemen below us. Austin, Daniel, thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. James, let's cue the intro, and then we'll come back to these guys and ask them.
There we go.
Story. As always, folks, thank you for joining us Thursday Night Live. Like James was saying, a little bit special this evening where we have these two gentlemen, young entrepreneurs, remind me a little bit myself. Austin, Daniel, thank you. Tell me, what is HIDSIPS? I want one of you guys. Daniel, you're the CEO.
Yep, CEO
Austin,
and founder.
You're another one of the founding members here?
Founding member and director of manufacturing.
I love it. We've got some cool questions for you guys. I think that, first of all, I think it's a really cool product. Tell us what it is, and then we'll pop up your website here.
Yeah, so first of all, thanks so much for having us. Soaring Profits is a great product y'all put out and something we're looking to mirror with our own company in HIDSIPS. That hot sauce sounds really exciting. I'll be tuning in next week and going over some of the questions we answered today, pretending I'm on hot ones myself.
There you go. Exactly. Yeah, I love that.
But HIDSIPS is a product for if you go a little too deep into that hot sauce end, like you said, you need some cold, refreshing water. This is kind of a fun and also necessary way of getting it for a lot of people. So we looked at the problem that many people face with bedside hydration and the lack of availability that's out there on the market today for how to obtain it. If you do forget to bring water with you to bed, if you run out of that water, or if your water from a few nights ago has gotten stale, we created a product that solves that issue with a very unique table lamp that stores, filters, chills, and dispenses cold water at the touch of a button.
Okay, so first of all, how the hell did you come up with this? Second of all, I think it's a brilliant idea. And when I chatted with you guys before, I'm sitting here and I threw it to a couple people since, and I'm like, a lamp that pours your fresh glass of water every night. I think I really thought it was a really cool idea. And it's one of those things that's like, it's like the pet rock, right? It's a simple concept. I want that fresh, cold, crisp glass of water. But I got to get up in the middle of the night and go down and do it. So where does this come from? How do you guys sitting around, and how many beers were you on when you decided that this was the concept, this was the idea?
Yeah, I mean, you touched on it perfectly. Like many great ideas, this idea came to fruition after one too many to drink. Only instead of writing the idea down on a bar napkin, it kind of came to me the next morning when I woke up with a throbbing headache, in need of something to try and cure this hangover. And as I fumbled around looking for water on my nightstand, all I saw was an empty glass. And right through the opaqueness of the glass, I saw on the other side, of course, a table lamp that I had. And I thought to myself, damn, if only this table lamp was a cold, refreshing pitcher of water, and it wasn't. Lo and behold, a little quick trip to the Goodwill and several prototypes and months of hard work later, and we've gotten to where we are today with it.
That's incredible. Like, I am with Pat. Pat and I kind of went over with you, Daniel, we went over all the reasons why we could have water, some nefarious, some great. Like if you're giving pills to like someone you're taking care of, you have the water right beside you. I've been on your website. The lamp is elegant and beautiful. Like it would suit any home. Like what I was wondering though is that you're both young men that are into entrepreneuring, obviously, but it's such a hard game, and I'm all about motivation. So you go from concept to business, and you guys have a business. You have the commercial, you have the website, you have shipping, you have everything. So you've done it all, you've built it all. But what I'm wondering is, what were you doing before that? Like, how do you go from where you were? So let's start with, who were you before HIDSIPS?
Yeah, you touched on it. Always someone with an entrepreneurial spirit, same as Austin, and always searching for, what was going to be that idea that hopefully took me out of the 9-to-5 corporate drag and into something more exciting. And if a water dispensing lamp doesn't say exciting, I don't know what does. That was kind of my call to action that, hey, like, this is the opposite of my desk job with my buttoned up suit and tie. This is something wild, something different, something certainly no one's seen before or heard before. And that was kind of what motivated me. Austin, I know you have a plethora of entrepreneurial endeavors.
Yeah. So before this, I had my first part of my career with mechanical engineering and did that at a few different companies, mostly small companies, but something just wasn't enough with those things. So I really caught the itch back in about 2015 or so. And since then, I've been a part of or started probably, I think it's about 6 or 7 startups. But you know what? This is the first one that is the most real. For one, it's taken off the most. And not only that, I always like to say this: what really matters is having the right person in a new company. You could have the best product in the world, but it matters if you have the right team to make it happen. And so far, Daniel and I are a damn good team so far. So I would say that's probably what made the difference and made me really jump on the bandwagon here.
I love it, guys. And this is a product. Like, I'm going to bring it up here. Like, this is not, something off, Alibaba's website that you guys have just rebranded. You could tell that this product here has got some major engineering pieces to it. You've got a mini fridge. You've got the filtration system on the far side here. These are interchangeable for hiking, backpacking, running, those sorts of deals. Like, you're buying a beautiful piece of furniture for your bedroom, but then there's a lot of work that goes into the back end of this to make this functional. So when you start designing this and you start coming up with your product line and, okay, I need that cup of water, take me from initial concept to where you guys are today. How do you decide this is what we're going to put in a box and send it off to our customers?
Yeah, so we tried that out a few different ways. I actually did a Kickstarter for this about a year ago. Didn't succeed. I got a lot of feedback from that. One of them being like, you need to include water storage with this product. Like, don't make the customer go figure that out on themselves. Like, please include something that's airtight and, fits with, it looks good and, fits alongside in the discrete fashion. And that's where that water reservoir you see came in. And continuing on that, we got a lot of feedback of like, well, I want cold water. And for me, it was nothing I ever thought of, because when I previously brought a glass of water with me to bed every night and I'd wake up at 3 a.m, it wasn't cold. But the added luxury of being able to sip cold water around the clock, it was a light bulb that went off in my mind when people requested it. So we've continued to build on it. And to your point, there's so many different pieces of it that work in different ways. Like that water reservoir, I actually took that with me on a backpacking trip to the bottom of the Grand Canyon, filtered water out of it for 3 days, and healthy as an ox over here still. So a couple of different horizontal integration plays in this one.
Well, this guy over here is a hell of a marathon runner. And as soon as I saw like the hiking and backpacking, that sort of thing, it reminds me of your camel backpack, right? All of those things that are right there. So now you've got your bedside light stand where you're reading in bed, or again, all those nefarious things. I don't know what he does in bed, but I don't know. It sounds like he's a bit of a troublemaker maybe. But now you've got this thing that you're able to unplug, take it with you, and you have this camel backpack for your hikes. Hang it in the tree while you're camping with the family and the kids. Like, you guys have thought about a number of different aspects around this that is really kind of incredible. You're solving problems. And myself as a young man, I don't know how old you guys are. I won't get into that one. My first business I started when I was 17 years old. And what I was looking to do is I realized as a young guy, if you can solve people's problems, you're going to be successful. And it sounds like you guys as young entrepreneurs are going out there and diving into solving people's problems. You've got, I'm telling you right now, I never thought I needed a HIDSIP lamp until you sit there and you go,
yeah,
that's a really, really good idea. That's really cool. So where do you see it now? Like, we talked a little bit about, the aspect of medication for seniors. You've got the camping side. You've got just the beautiful nature of that lamp. Who is your core customer?
Yeah, like you said, there's so many different people who could use it and so many different plays, but we can only, as a business, of course, this is Soaring Profits, can only allocate resources to one space at a time. We don't have all the money in the world. And while I would love to sit here and say, I see it in the home of every American and Canadian and global, that's just, I do, but that's not right now. So for right now, we're really trying to make our way into the nursing home space. That's like where we see our biggest play. Over 60% of all adults age 75 and older complain of waking up every night with dry mouth. There's statistics like that. And we've pulled various nurses and caretakers and gotten really good results from those polls as well that lead us to want to slowly shift away from this e-commerce, never entirely, but slowly start to gear into a B2B space and out of this social media, younger adult space that we've been targeting so far.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, I think it's amazing. I really do. Like, I can really see it in nursing homes. I used to work in nursing homes when I was a younger man, about 10 years ago. Much younger. And that was a thing. Like, you had to go over to the sink, and it's always like a bathroom sink or something. And it's not like pleasant water. Whereas you guys have like a filtration system. It's cold, it's fresh, and you don't have to leave a glass just sitting on the side. I think it's brilliant, and I love it. What I was kind of wondering, and people I talked to were wondering, wow, my brain just went blank. Isn't that lovely?
Well, I want to play. I want to play.
Man, what was the Kickstarter like? What were some of the problems that you had starting a business? Like, what were your roadblocks? That's the question that I was trying to come up with. There we go. What were your roadblocks building an entrepreneurial business? Like Pat always talks about, it's great that you make pie, but at the end of the day, unless you enjoy managing the money and taking care of ordering parts and building and doing everything, there's more to just making an apple pie. So if you could lead us through like some of your downfalls, some of your successes, just give us kind of a picture of what HIDSIP has gone through to get to this moment of success.
Yeah, it's funny you asked that because Austin and I joke all the time about, hell, I wish we kept a log of all these issues we faced. We could write a novel or two at this point. And to the point you made earlier, James, like, you love running and hiking, but you don't necessarily, like, you have to love the hurdles and the wrong turns you make and all the other aspects that come along with the art of it. And we've certainly faced a lot. I mean, from different design flaws that we've had to quickly recorrect, marketing tests where we thought our statistics were going really good, but it was really more of like, yeah, people are clicking these ads, but they're not converting the leads. We need to pivot here and there. In the first Kickstarter, I thought I could get by with just kind of making it a laughable type of thing. I thought I could sell people strictly through entertainment and not as much through the value proposition. So Kickstarter was a unique environment for us to go to market with. We learned a lot through it, but we have faced every which way type of hurdle, funding hurdles, like you name it. We have not had a smooth sailing time with it, but Austin and I are enjoying the treacherous water adventure to get to that never ending finish line that always stays, 10 feet in front of us.
So give us your biggest hurdle and how you overcome it. What was the biggest thing that you guys have faced? I just want people who are wanting to start a business, because you know what? Often, like with, me losing weight, I went from fat person to losing weight. No one sees, the moments of like, I'm giving up. I'm going to go eat a big bag of chips and a fat ice cream. No one sees that part. They just see the success. And then they don't know when they start out that it's not easy. It's not easy. But if you persevere, you can get there. So let's go through one of your biggest hurdles, how you solved it, and what the result was.
Sure. I would say the Meta story, Austin. You think that's one of our biggest hurdles? What happened to us a week before we launched? All right. So Meta.
It came at a crucial time too. So I think this will be good.
Yeah, this one was the biggest kick to the groin for us. We're 7 to 10 days away from our big anticipated launch of this Kickstarter campaign. We need to launch it at this date. We have several other potential investors in place who they want to see what the success of this campaign is. And we need to get this 30-day campaign over with by mid-June. So there's no pushing it off. We're building our leads. It's growing great. And suddenly Meta blocks our domain. No traffic can go to HIDSIPS.com anymore. We're on the phone with them. They're like, it should be working. It should be working. We're opening up case after case. It couldn't have come at a worse time. We did solve it in our own unique way, but ultimately we weren't able to get ads sending anyone to our website for the most important 7 to 10 days before our launch. I mean, statistically speaking, I get excited for, this campaign's launching in just 2 days. I will sign up for that because it's happening now. It's happening presently. And that just, there was nothing we could do about it. Our hands were tied. Meta controls most of the social media space. And that was something we had to try and navigate, which was
we had the exact same story with Meta.
Yeah.
The exact same story. So Soaring Profits, where we came from, and I invest. I watch the stock market. I invest in the markets every day, right? I day trade, all this sort of thing. Soaring Profits started in the metaverse. It was James and I as a couple little cartoon characters dancing around looking like happy-go-lucky things. And we went out, we've got the virtual reality headsets. We're like, this is going to be a cool thing. It's going to be a new space. This time last year was AI this year, right? It was the hottest thing. It was going to revolutionize everything. So me and this guy are like, got to jump in here. Yeah. So we start and fumble after fumble after fumble. When you say cases open, we had hundreds. My email was just Facebook Meta back and back and back and back. It's like I got a full-time job logging in. It's the worst ever. And immediately I go over and I go, short. I short the shit out of Meta. And what happened? The metaverse aspect fell apart. Maybe 5 years from now, it's going to be something. But exactly like you say, and it's one of those things that as a founder, as somebody that's starting off, that can kill you right there. If you can't find a solution to that problem, obviously you guys did. But if you can't find a solution to that problem, you're a duck in the water with sharks. You're toast. So when you guys finally get through Meta, you finally get launched, and then Kickstarter. Now, I've never done a Kickstarter campaign before. Maybe you guys can touch a little bit about that process, how that went, and then maybe some of the lessons that you learned from it.
Yeah, so Kickstarter, for those who aren't familiar, is a crowdfunding platform for products and projects that are not yet created, not yet to be delivered. So it's a pre-order platform that has one hell of a community and an outreach. And the way it works is, companies are obviously getting funds from people who are excited about the product. And if the product takes off well enough, Kickstarter will use their own marketing budget and their own resources to further bolster your product amongst their community. So Kickstarter did a great job. They gave us a lot of page time and, we were happy with it. They certainly could have done more. If they think your product is going to be a $100,000, there's $1 million projects out there. They'll spend a lot of marketing to get you there because they're taking 10% off the top.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's a business as well. They're not just doing a charitable act, though they do help, hundreds of startups and entrepreneurs like myself and Austin get off the ground because, we were able to build our own, of course, lead list, like I was, alluding to earlier, but they have such a big community of people who just love browsing Kickstarter, seeing what kind of new technology is coming out to play and getting involved in it. You know, people back, like I've backed some for just $1 or $5, just a tip of the cap, be like, I like what you got going on and I want to see you get it to the finish line.
Yeah. No, I remember when Kickstarter first started, I was a younger guy and they had a wallet and it was like this RFID canceling wallet.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
Before, right? Your cards can get tapped. They were just starting to go there. And in Canada, all of our debit cards and credit cards are all tapped now. I know when I go someplace in the States, that's not. It's all insert still and chip and that sort of thing. But we have been like that for the better part of 5 or 6 years. Like it's been a fairly long time up here. I think we were kind of a test market. But these wallets were coming out, and I had a concern that you get someone with a reader at the mall, and they just come up and tap your pocket. Oops, sorry, I bumped into you, and I stole all your information. I now have your banking data. And this is exactly what it was. Kickstarter had this opportunity. I think it was $25, $5, you know, kind of goes to the wallet aspect, and the rest is the brand, and you get first crack at it if they ever get it off the ground. And for young entrepreneurs, I think that's such an amazing thing. People that aren't just doing the drop shipping platform. You can go to Alibaba. You can buy something that's already pre-built. You can market the shit out of it. But you guys that are out there building something new, coming up with a new concept, a new idea, I tip my hat to you guys. I love it. And I think that as a Canadian, there's nothing more American than what you guys are doing, grabbing the bulls by the horn and making something happen. So I love what you guys are doing.
Hey, we appreciate you and all of our friends north of the border. We've had quite a bit of support so far, actually, from the Canada community.
Awesome.
Not sure if I can exactly nail down which provinces are our most supportive, but we love them all equally.
Perfect. That was very diplomatic of you too. That'll work out well. When we end up making
Ontario is the best province.
Right.
That's what I was getting at too. I was just going to wait for you to say.
Austin, I see why you keep him around, pal. That's awesome.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, let me pull up your website here, guys, because you guys got a great clip. I want to throw it up here. I think it should play fully. Maybe not.
Wouldn't it be nice to have water by your bedside at the touch of a button? Imagine if filling a glass no longer had to be part of your nightly or early morning routine. If you never had to get up in the middle of the night for a refill. Imagine if you could get longer and healthier sleep, wake up more refreshed for the morning, and even start your day with a chilled glass of your favorite cold brew or fresh squeezed orange juice. All without having to sacrifice the aesthetic of your bedroom. Meet HydroLamp by HIDSIPS.
Wait a second, that didn't
It's
look
the
like
lamp
water.
that brings light to your
What was that?
That didn't look like water. That looked like wine or something.
room and brings peace of mind in providing up to 4 liters of fresh, filtered water at the touch of your fingertips. Designed by Naval Submersibles engineers, HydroLamp uses NSF and FDA-approved materials and components. Waterproof LED lighting and isolated electronic chambers make the system safe. And its insulated pump housing keeps the dispensing quiet, so your sleep and the ones around you remain undisturbed. HydroLamp's water reservoir is made effortless to refill, with its quick connect and release features, and large twist cap fill port. Renewing your water and stowing it out of sight has been made seamless. HydroLamp's microfiltration technology ensures a safe pour of water for 100 gallons or 6 months. Changing the filter's been made easy, thanks to the pump's painless plug and unplug connection ports. So has taken care of any spills you may incur during usage. Additionally, the interchangeable lampshade design ensures your HydroLamp meets your style. Perfect for anywhere in your home or office, HydroLamp is a versatile addition to any space. With the HydroLamp mini fridge in the add-on section, you can even enjoy a refreshing pour of your other favorite beverages. Additionally, engineers at HIDSIPS designed the product to be easy to clean. HydroLamp is the perfect solution for your bedside, and especially exceptional for times when you may be sick or injured. HydroLamp is especially useful for those who take medicine before bed, and those with dry mouth due to snoring, sleeping with their mouth open, or those who just had a little too much to drink last night. So say goodbye to cluttered nightstands with HydroLamp's low-profile base. Say farewell to settling for last night's stale water, filled with dust and other particles. And say hello to a world where you sleep better, knowing your hydration needs are satisfied in style.
The HIDSIPS team has spent well over a year designing, refining, and testing the HydroLamp till it was absolutely perfect. All of our commercial components have been acquired. Now we need your help to reach the commercial capital tooling costs required to complete manufacturing. So please, back HIDSIPS and help make HydroLamp the hydration solution of the future.
So I have a couple of questions right away. So we have a couple of people watching, Raquel and Sia, big sip drinkers. So if we install wine in those bags, how does that work?
It works. No, it works fully. You're at risk of spilling a drop or two, and wine stains a little bit, as you're aware of. But I think it's a great accessory for the bar cart, for any bar. We will say the pumps are not the friendliest with very sugary products. Hence why we didn't say soda, or that's why we said it can dispense cold brew, right? Even orange juice, I don't really think we're recommending. But water and coffee-based, non-sugary products, our pump plays well with. And if you do want to dabble with the wine, that's in the ball's in your court.
So who's the submersible engineer?
Yeah, that was my second question.
Austin, we have so many questions for you, man, just by default the week that we've had.
Sure. Yeah. Yep. So at my second job out of college, I'd worked there for about 6 years, and we designed pressure vessels for subsea exploration vehicles. And it was basically a waterproof housing that varied in size from, let's say, about a foot to maybe 2 feet in length, and about a foot in diameter was about the average size. And inside this, there could be either a camera for capturing some sort of footage, like on Planet Earth. That might be one example. Love that show, by the way. Sir David Attenborough. Oh yeah, greatest narrator ever. But it could be that, or just the electronic computer system that would run the vehicle.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So what do you think of what, and again, we will get back to this, I promise, but I would be remiss if I did not ask about the catastrophic incident that happened recently. You hear this in the news. Austin's got a little education behind this. Was it like, nah, it's over? Like, did you know that this was something that was going to be super problematic? Unlike the rest of us that were like waiting for CNN to tell us something?
It's tough to say. I wasn't on the inside, so I didn't know all of the details. But I was
so diplomatic. It's almost like they're from Canada. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Nice. Another diplomatic. It's hard to say.
Right.
I love it. Keep going.
But I would say, based on a few different experiences with testing or simulating these pressure vessels in like test tanks and whatnot, because we never actually went inside these. Also, keep in mind that the things that I designed were not for passengers. They were just for electronics. So we didn't necessarily have to have the same exact design guidelines as you would for that. But in summary, I would think that there would only be two things that could happen. Is either they just lost communication, lost power, maybe sunk to the bottom and they were still alive for a little bit, or the implosion, which I think is what the ultimate result was. And I will say this, that in the experience with several different implosions during testing, it's a very quick thing. It's not something that you may not even know that it happened if you were on the inside of this. So at least I would say that's likely what happened, is that it was an instantaneous implosion. And at least the silver lining is that nobody had to suffer at all, really.
Yeah.
That would be my guess, because I'll throw one little detail about pressure in there, which is kind of insane. Down at the Titanic depths, you're at somewhere between 3,000 and 4,000 meters, which is approximately 5 to 7,500 pounds per square inch. So that's, just imagine your thumb.
Yeah.
That's about an inch square area. Imagine pressing down with 5,000 pounds on, let's say, your arm, for instance. But that's just 1 inch. But you have to add that inch plus that inch plus that inch. So your body's experiencing about 50 million pounds of force.
Wow.
It's hard to grasp those numbers,
Yeah. Wow.
I just like to say, we're joking around and stuff. It's not really a funny thing. It doesn't matter that they're billionaires. I'm sure they had wonderful families and everything, and people miss them. And it is a terrible thing. I'm not sure. I don't know, like hindsight is a wonderful thing. when I saw the sub, I was like, hell no, I'm not getting in anything that, looks like that in any way. But, maybe they were part of funding it and they just thought it was a good idea. I'm not sure. But let's get back to HIDSIPS. So why don't you run us through how we order it, where it comes from, how it's delivered, the whole like buying and getting it to us.
Sure. And, before, to take us back on a lighter note before I get into that, I will say our return policy is great because we have a I can personally guarantee no implosions of the HydroLamp or your money back and some. Like, this is a personal guarantee. We'll pull it straight from my bank account. Your HydroLamp will not implode.
You be careful because there'll be people out there trying to make that thing implode.
I like that. That is good. This Daniel, man, he is on the ball with this stuff.
I like it.
Austin, you're with the right guy here. He's subtle, he's smooth. Yeah. I love it, boys.
He has some magic superpowers.
TikToks of your HIDSIP lamp, people trying to make it implode.
I mean, I'm not good with like my dictionary, so I should be pulling up on a second monitor here what the definition of implosion is before I start guaranteeing things.
No, you were good. You were good. I made that science class, but no. Yeah. Well, I'm going to pull up your website again here, boys, because I want to. I don't know. Right there.
Let's see how do we order it? Where do we? So we go to the website, obviously, which is HIDSIPS.com.
HIDSIPS.com. Yeah, you can go to waterdispensinglamp.com as well. And what you do is you go to the catalog. It's available right now for pre-order. We have so many. I think 85% of our parts right now have already been ordered and are on the way. Are shipping from various places, both domestic here in the United States and from China. And are slated for arrival in about mid-August. So we're expecting to have stock on hand in late August and have all these assembled. They're arriving to our assembly facility here in Austin, Texas. And yeah, like I said, we're going to have some units on hand. So if you don't want to pre-order, you want to wait, just keep an eye out for that end of August date. I believe there's also a way where you can sign up and get notified when it goes from pre-order to stock on hand. That's pretty much, I guess, how you order it today. And and pretty much how it's made. It's the assembly is done by a team here in Texas, and the fridge, fun note, is actually manufactured by one of the largest mini fridge companies in the country. They kind of handle all of that, and that's good because Austin and I have enough work on our hands with the HydroLamp and everything else. We don't really need to get too much into the fridge space. If we can dabble without it.
So do you have to order it separately, or is there like one of them is like the whole package and then you can order it separately?
Yeah, great question. So over July 4th, and this might not resonate with all your listeners, we did do a combination deal. We're always doing different discounts and combination usage discounts. So right now, actually, we are offering I believe it's 25% discount on both the fridge and the HydroLamp, if you pre-order, of course. However, the HydroLamp works without the fridge. It won't chill your water, but it'll provide you that cold or that water for up to a gallon of storage. That lasts most people a couple of weeks. So the convenience of it is still there without the fridge. The fridge obviously just adds that extra functionality, that extra pizzazz, if you will, of helping you get cold water around the clock.
Well, I can see amazing. You guys have been on the podcast circuit here by your media stuff. That looks awesome, boys.
Yeah, y'all are actually only the third podcast we've ever done. Austin just got his first taste of a podcast yesterday, but that one's not even launched yet. So we're kind of taking Austin on a whirl here, but I think he's doing all right so far. What do you think, James, Pat?
I think
anytime you can talk about how a sub implodes with such grace and dynamic delivery like that, pal, he is going to be A-okay. Let me tell you.
I think you guys are a great team. Like you got the man who knows about implosion, and then you are the salesman galore. It's kind of like Pat and I know a lot about motivation and doing things, and he's a salesman. He knows how to spin it, and I think Daniel, you're a spinner. You just know, like you know what the opportune moment to say something is, and I think you guys are an incredible team. I love what you're doing. I think your product is amazing, and I wish you all the best luck in the world. I I think that anyone out there who has ever suffered from dry mouth, I know I do. I'm a young man. I'm not like the over 70s that you were talking about, but I know I suffer from dry mouth on several occasions. This weekend especially, I'm probably going to wake up a time or two and need a drink of water. And I think your product's the perfect thing. And I hope it's in every home. I was envisioning it on my desk, to be honest, like right here, because my glass is empty and I could use another drink of water. I think it's just a beautiful product. I love that it's hidden. I love that it's not like the centerpiece of the room, because I like a nice, like my house is designed the way I like it, so it looks nice. I don't want a gawky kind of water bottle feature. I like that it looks like a lamp, and it's a nice lamp. It's beautiful. Are you guys planning on changing, like can we get different shades or different colors of lamp, or like customize? Is that going to be a thing in the future? I realize you're just launching and those are like way in the future, but is that a direction you're thinking?
No, I'm glad you touched on that, because that's actually a thing right now. So we have 4 different SKUs. It's available in 4 different shades, 3 different bases, and then 4 different total stems. And the lampshade is interchangeable. So that's actually a big part of our utility patent play, was to make sure that we could get a utility patent on a certain type of water pump that fits into universally the 4 different types of lampshades that are out there on the market. So, we know it's a hard sell for some people to maybe replace the lamp that they have on their bedside or at their desk today. But, if they can certainly take that lampshade off of that lamp and, add that customizability to their hydro lamp.
That's amazing. So I can have my 2 lamps. I can take the lampshade off the one, throw your lamp in, and then I got matching lampshades still.
Yep.
That's incredible, man. You guys are higher level thinkers. I think that's amazing. Well, guys, I think we've kind of talked the talk. We've walked the walk. I don't know. I could not imagine having a concept that's like Isaac Newton, the apple fell on your head. You're like kind of a little hangover looking through a glass of water and seeing a lamp. And now you have a product that we can get in Canada and US, and it's a beautiful product. And you know what? You guys should be very proud of yourselves, because 1 in a million people who start entrepreneurship get as far as you do. And I think it's going to take off big. I love that you're thinking of helping elderly people and sick people. I'm all about changing the world, making the world a better place. And I think you guys are really doing that.
Thank you. Yeah.
So at the end of our show, what we do is we talk a little bit, and then we give our little saying. Pat and I both have sayings. I know you've watched every show, so you know this, but so I'm going to go, then Pat will go, and then you guys get to go individually, and you say whatever you want, and then come up with a little saying to change the world. It's lovely. So next at 9 p.m. tonight, Thursday Night Live, our next live, we're going to have the wonderful Leah. We're going to talk about, it's a hard-hitting topic. She's a businesswoman that helps with marketing and a bunch of other stuff, but she's also helps survivors of sexual abuse, particularly in the religious nature of priests and reverends, etc. And from the sounds of things, it sounds like she's trying to help both the church and the survivors kind of find their way in such a dark thing. So join us at 9 o'clock. We'll be starting live. She's a wonderful woman, very well spoken, and I'm looking very much forward to it. Join us July 27th when we watch Pat cry, drinking the hottest hot sauce. Beautiful, let me tell you. I can't wait. I think I might show the little clip of him working out, trying to survive hot sauce with Leah there. So please come join us next week. If you want 2 things. 1, you should probably order a lamp so you can drink some water while you're doing it. But purpletonguehotsauce.com. Go up to the website. There's a package. It's the exact package that we're using. You can put it on tofu, chicken, steak, whatever you want. And we'll go through each sauce, and you guys can play along at home. And we're just planning on having a fun time. Probably going to be a few beers involved. I'm not going to lie. Anyway, thank you for coming, guys. I love you both. I think you're amazing. I love young people that aren't just sitting back and letting things happen. You guys are working every day, pushing hard, even over adversity, you're succeeding, and that's amazing. Profiteers out there, let's heal our minds, bodies, and souls together.
Well, what more can I say with that, guys? It's a pleasure to have you here tonight. We've been following you guys for a while after our first conversation, and every time I come back to it, I just like, that is a slick idea. So from us here, keep doing what you're doing. Hopefully we can have you guys on again in a couple months when you guys have, sold your millionth lamp, and you guys are old, rich, gray old men, and you remember us little guys. But no, I'm proud of you guys. Keep doing what you're doing. I love it. And from me, let's make some money together. This is where we stick you guys. What's your message? What's your message for the world? Something to send people off on.
Austin, you want to start first and I'll bring us home?
Yeah, that sounds good. It has to do with this product, but I would say that, a big inspiration for coming up with this product that Daniel and I both had experience with is our grandparents in nursing homes. And, a big complaint that my grandparent had was that it takes forever to call a nurse over and finally have them, arrive to give them water, medicine, whatever it might be. And overall, they're the group of people that doesn't have the time, the luxury of time to wait. So I say, what better way than just to make their lives a little bit easier in that stage of life, because they paved the entire way for us to be where we are these days.
Amen.
Yeah, I think that's great. Before I give my drop of wisdom, James, Pat, thanks so much for having us. It was a real pleasure talking with y'all today. Looking forward to hopefully coming back for that millionth sale episode myself.
I'm going to hold you boys to that. Don't think that I won't. I'll be back. I will.
We're going to do it from your yacht, though, not like on StreamYard.
Hey, we'll just drop the line from the water lamp right into the ocean, wave at some of the submersibles that pass, and we'll just dispense water right from there.
Love it.
But yeah, no, my drop of wisdom, my last tidbit here is a little fun fact. So HIDSIPS actually stands for Highly Innovative Discrete Solutions in Plain Sight. And while that discrete solution is in plain sight, and we are now hopping off this call and getting out of sight, we hope you'll keep us at the forefront of your minds and keep HIDSIPS in your hearts. Thanks, everyone.